Which kind of teachers are in demand? Do they need more science teachers and English teachers, or they need more mathematics?
No, the thing is, they want you. Trust me. They want you and they'll keep you.
Do you think your accent helped because you speak like you live in either the US or the UK? Stop that. So hi guys, as most of you know, I'm in London. Yes, and I put it on my community that if you're in London and you have an inspiring story to share, link up. And luckily I got Rashida, so she's all the way from
Jamaica, but I'm currently in Tadworth.
I don't know how to pronounce it, so she's currently somewhere in London, okay? And we've linked up and I'm going to ask her a few questions. So she is called Rashida Jamila
Patterson.
Okay, so from the name you can tell she's not African. So where are you from? She's from Jamaica.
So I'm from Jamaica. The name is African, first and middle name. So yeah, I'm from Jamaica. I'm 21.
Wow, you're really young.
So next month I'll be 22.
Wow.
And I'm currently here as a teacher.
Okay, so you're here on a skilled worker visa as a teacher?
Yes, so it's a tier 2 skilled worker visa.
Wow. So the thing is, I've done a couple of videos to help people relocate to the UK as teachers. However, I still get in my comment section that people are still struggling. Right, did you struggle?
I struggled.
You did?
So I struggled, but not for long. I started looking to get here like last year, October, I'd say. And I got through to get here by February this year. So it wasn't so bad because persons have been trying for years. And I got through in a couple of months, but I went through thousands of interviews.
Interviews?
I went through so many interviews, like every single day since last year, every day of the week. I had an interview because I was working with multiple companies.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd say I struggled because I went through so many interviews to get here.
So I took it that some of the interviews were not successful.
Yes, so the thing is, most of the schools will like you, but at the same time, they'll find a better candidate in terms of the fact that someone else is already here. So even though they really love you, they probably won't take you because someone else is just a couple of miles and just needs to move on and they'll be there. So they have to go with that.
So that was the main challenge?
That was the main challenge, and I think that will be everyone's challenge in a sense. But you just have to have them love you enough to want to take you or to wait.
So how were you getting these interviews? Were you using, what platform were you using to find these interviews in the first place? Okay,
so initially I looked on LinkedIn, which was successful. So I used a few companies. I got through with Hourglass. Shout out to Ed. Ed was my advisor. He was absolutely lovely. But others that I worked with, I'd say I worked with Hourglass, Time Plan, I Can Teach UK. Okay. That was the main one.
Are they agencies?
Agencies, and they're all free. All free. So
free, guys.
If you
free.
ever see anyone charging you, you don't pay to come here. They get paid by the school. You don't pay them. So
thank you for emphasizing on that.
Never, no matter what country you're coming from, you don't pay to come here on a teacher's visa. Apart from your visa and stuff like that, you don't pay an agency. The school pays them. So they were all free, so subscribe to everything and don't feel guilty about it, trust me, because there are lots of persons trying to get here. Don't feel guilty because I was subscribed to maybe 7 of them
agencies
at the same time, and I never told anyone. So now that they see this, I hope Ed can forgive me, but that was how I got here on it.
Wow. What do you teach?
So currently I teach science and it's the secondary schools.
What are the requirements to be able to join?
Okay, so typically, let me tell you, they will want you to have 2 years of experience. Now, the fact that I told you guys that I'm 21, you obviously know I don't have 2 years experience. No, the thing is, if you're good enough in your field, they'll take you with a couple of months, 1 year's experience, 7 years experience, whatever the case might be. But at the time, I only had 7 months of experience. Plus, during the time that I was doing my degree, I had some couple months as well. So it really got back to the fact that the school really liked what they saw, and I was able to impress the right people.
Do you think your accent helped because you don't speak like you're black, or you don't speak like you're not from here? You speak like you live in either the US or the UK. Do you think your accent was part? Do you think?
I think so. I definitely think so, because when I went to my school, there was no one else speaking. There was another Jamaican teacher, but if no one told me that he wasn't Jamaican, I would not know he was speaking British.
Okay.
So I think the accent helped. I think that definitely did, but no one actually said that. But try to change it up. The kids love the accent when you give them the Jamaican accent, but they want to be able to know that you can talk, that the
For them
students
to understand.
yes, and that they're not being like, what, you know, so the accent helped.
That is,
it helped.
okay. Wow. So you need 2 years experience, and then do you have a degree?
Yes, so of course you have to have a degree. So I have a Bachelor's of Science in Education, but basically it's a teaching degree focusing on science.
Okay.
So they want something similar to basically be based on what you're teaching. So of course if you want to teach English, that's what you have to have as well.
Which kind of teachers are in demand? Do they need more science teachers and English teachers, or they need more mathematics? What people are in demand? What category of teachers are in demand?
Not to show off, but science is definitely the one that they need. Now the thing is, if you're a science teacher, you will never find yourself out of work here. They want you, trust me. They want you and they'll keep you. They do want like science teachers, maths teachers, English teachers, and teachers that teach, I'm not sure if it's tech or information technology, that type of thing. So the STEM subjects. But basically science and maths is the top.
Have you taken the IELTS multiple times without success? Are you 2, 1, or even just half a band away from what the NMC or GMC require in order to give you your PIN or license to practice? Then stop, take a breath, and let us help. You see, here at IELTS Medical, we've given doctors and nurses the tools they need to pass the academic version of the IELTS exam as efficiently as possible. Whether you've reached above 7.0 in 3 sub-tests, but can't seem to crack IELTS writing, whether it's IELTS reading that's the thorn in your side, it's okay, we're here for you.
So how long have you been teaching in the UK?
1 month.
So far, how's it like?
Oh my God, it's a 360. It was, let me tell you, the kids here are different. The thing is, in Jamaica, students will know that the teacher is, you know, the boss and whatever. The kids here, not to say that they don't understand that you're the boss, but the thing is, they'll try to push you.
Okay.
They'll try to see, is she that type of teacher? She's gonna follow along with that. And the thing is, the UK, you know, they have rights.
Yeah.
And the kids know they have rights.
Yeah.
That's a problem. It's good that they have rights, not saying anything about that. If they feel like you don't know what they're supposed to be doing, that's a problem. But I think they're
So what
definitely...
age do you teach? Like, is it like teens?
Yes,
And I hear they are the
teenagers.
toughest.
Oh my God. They're the sweetest and the toughest at the same time. The teenagers will
But I
be
feel like because
teenagers.
you're young, you
Yes.
can relate to them. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that got me with the school as well. So I was able to tell them, like, guys, I know you're looking for 2 years of experience, but guess what? I'm 21. I can relate to them because just the other day I was doing what they're doing right now. So if they're trying to do something, I know.
That's
I'm
true.
like, guys, I was doing this just the other day. Don't think I don't know. So they'll just laugh and they'll stop. So I think being able to relate to them helps.
So far, the first week, I guess, orientation, right?
Yes, so with my school, they desperately needed a science teacher, desperately. So I only got like 1 week's orientation and then they just threw me into the deep end.
Wow.
But I think that was good. It helps you to navigate yourself, not being babied along and stuff like
That's
that. But the orientation, basically I got to shadow persons, see their behavior system because behavior is a big thing here. So they have a system that you have to say like first, second, third warning, what happens, stuff like that. I got to see that. I got to see the teaching styles, the things that they use. And I think I grasped that very quickly as soon as I got that. So first week orientation, second week teaching.
Wow.
But they still do check on you. So that's a good thing.
What time do you go to work? How many classes do you teach in a day? What time do you close?
Okay, so school starts for the kids at 8:35, but for me, I need to be there before. So you don't necessarily have to be there super early, but I try to be there by 7:30, so an hour before. That's just because I love to be prepared.
Okay.
The thing is, as soon as you turn your back and you're not prepared, the kids will go crazy. So you have to be prepared. I get there an hour early, make sure everything's intact, get my things up. So I'll get my screen up, my questions on the board for them to do, make sure I have their books in the corner.
You are really a good teacher. Even from the way you're talking, I can tell. Oh, wow.
I have to, trust me, I have to. The kids get that feeling that you're strict, when they see that everything's organized, they're like, oh my God, I have to, because
guys, she's giving you tips. When you come, you know, some of these things, they make you look strict,
you have to,
you know?
You have to, trust me. Because if the kids see you flailing around, or if you have to step out for a second, trust me, anything can happen that few seconds. So you have to have everything. So I get there an hour before, I get everything started. And then normally I just sit back and eat my breakfast at that point. So once I have all their books ready, I make sure my register is up for them for the day. I make sure that I don't have anything else planned. So basically just plan everything out and say hi to the rest of the staff and then start my day. In a day I have, in some cases it's 5 classes for the day.
And each class is about 40 minutes?
Each class is about 55 minutes.
Okay, almost an hour.
So it's almost an hour. It's scheduled for an hour, but we know 5 minutes for them to come in, 5 to come out. So it's technically like 50 minutes or 55. Another thing is in week 1 and week 2, my week 1, it's light. I have so much free time. It's like you're not working. Week 2 is when I have like 4 classes a day, 5 classes a day. Week 1, on Mondays, I have 2 classes for the entire day. I'm done.
Okay.
So I do my planning. Tuesday, it's the same. Wednesday, I'll have 3 classes. On Friday, I'll have 4. Thursday, I'll have 4 as well. But week 2, it's heavy. So most schools use that system. It's week 1 and week 2.
Okay.
You have to know which week you're in.
Okay.
And I teach 13 classes in those 2 weeks.
Wow.
It sounds like a lot, but if you see my timetable, you're just like, it's unbalanced, but I can see you're free this week, not so free this week. So it's fine.
Wow. So what time do you usually close?
So school closes right at about 3 o'clock.
Okay. Do you plan on registering in another school as a part-time?
I was gonna do that, but since being here, I've learned that tutoring is actually better. Okay. Now, if I go to another
private
school,
tutoring, you mean?
Private tutoring, one-on-one thing.
So, what advice would you give to people who are desperate, they want to come, but they're struggling?
So just show your personality with the interviews. Try to be on time. Be early, not on time.
Be early.
Be early, because you don't want to be jumping on at the same time that the interviewer is coming on as well.
I think being early is your trademark.
Yes.
Because even for this interview, guys, we arranged to be here at 12, but she was so early, I had to be early as well. And that is something I admire, because I am just the opposite.
Yeah.
In my appraisals, my issue is lateness.
Oh my God.
That is it. When you say show up at 7:40, that's when I'm taking my bath. That's really bad. That's really, really bad, but I'm working on it. Okay. So would you remember some of the questions that you were asked during that interview, so that some people, I'm sure, are likely to get the same questions as well?
Yes.
So that they can, prepare,
So 3 questions they're gonna ask you, definitely have to. Safeguarding, behavior, and what do you like for extracurricular? What are you like after school? No one wants to know that you're just a lazy teacher. As soon as the bell's going, you're pushing kids out of the way to get outside. No one wants to know that. So they want to see if you're the type that gets involved in the school. So first question, safeguarding. They're going to ask you about safeguarding concerns. So safeguarding is basically just the UK's way of checking, do you know how to keep a child safe? And we don't mean physically, only physically at least. You mean mentally, everything.
And making sure that there's no abuse.
No abuse.
Upholding their rights,
Yes.
and all that.
So all their rights, making sure there's no abuse. They'll ask you, what do you know about safeguarding? They want to know as well that you've read their specific safeguarding procedures.
Okay.
Do you know their safeguarding lead? Okay. So a safeguarding is kind of, in Jamaica or other schools, we'll call it guidance counseling. So their safeguarding lead is a guidance counselor. They want to know if you know their name. If you mention that person's name, trust me, you're getting the job.
How do you get it? How do you know?
Everything's on the website.
Okay.
Always on the school website.
So guys, I've learned a lot now. So know about safeguarding. And then, prep what you're going to say if you're asked about the extracurricular activities you're interested in. And then check the school's website for details, maybe their mission, their values.
Their mission statement, their ethos,
their
everything.
safeguarding lead, you said?
Yes, the safeguarding lead's name. So they'll ask you things like, so if there's a safeguarding concern and you're thinking the child is being abused at home, what would you do? So I would say, I'm just going to make a random name. So you're going to say for instance, you are the safeguarding. I'm like, well, I would definitely go down to Nanelle's office. When you insert that person's name, they're going to perk up. They're going to be like, oh, they know the name. He's paying attention. So that's what they want to see. Another thing.
That's really smart.
Yes.
That's really smart. Wow.
So I had my notepad. The thing is, most of the time, you're not going to remember the person's name. But if you have your notepad, as soon as you're looking at the meeting, the good thing is it's virtual. So you can have everything open at the same time. You could even have your son or sibling have the notes at the top. But that helps. It helps.
Yeah. They would know that you did your research.
They'll know that
will
you're
be
interested.
very impressive.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Guys, I hope you've taken your paper and your pen and you're jotting things down.
Yes. And then another thing is behavior. Now, they'll want to know that you looked at their behavior policy, like what are you allowed to do, what are you not allowed to do, how does their behavior system work, as in do they use something like what my school uses, the 3-point system, like first warning, second warning, third warning, you're out of class, that type of thing. So check on that. They want to know what do you do in Jamaica or your home country versus what they're doing, how you integrate it and how you work with it. So they just want to make sure that you are aware of what's going on and if you're able to adapt, basically.
So now back to the visa processing. After you got the job, they give you a certificate of sponsorship?
Yes. So they give us the COS, the certificate of sponsorship. Mine was, oh my God, mine was messed up. So it stated that I was from Japan. Instead of Jamaica, the J. It's the J, and I was like, oh my God, this was an honest mistake. So when they gave that to me, they had to correct it, and then I had to wait. But basically, once they give us the certificate of sponsorship, which they pay for as well, guys, if someone's thinking that, if they're suggesting that you pay for it, that's another red flag.
It's a red flag. It's
you don't
supposed
pay
to be
for
free.
it. It's free. They don't even tell you what the price is.
Yeah.
Now, after that, once you get the COS, because there's 2 things on the COS that you have to use to apply for your visa. 2 numbers on it is what you put in to start the process.
Yeah.
So you can't even start without that.
You can't apply for the visa without a certificate of sponsorship. So once it got corrected, then you apply for your visa. Did you pay for your visa yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
So I've heard that some schools, depending on how good you are or how valued they think you are, they'll actually pay for your visa.
Did you have to pay for the health surcharge?
Yes, I did. So I had to pay for the health surcharge in addition to the visa, which was about 700 and something per year.
Okay. So guys, if you are coming as a health professional, you don't have to pay health surcharge. However, teachers do not qualify for the free health surcharge.
Yes.
So she had to pay extra £700 per year. So if your contract is 1 year, you pay 700 and something pound per year for this health surcharge.
Yes. So if I would advise that if you are coming, take a 1-year contract, just because it gives you flexibility, just in case you don't like the school, plus you spend less. So you only pay for 1 year's visa and the 1-year surcharge for that 1 year.
Especially if you're coming with your family.
Yes, because if you're coming with your family, it's the 1-year surcharge for you, say for instance your child, and then your spouse. So that's 3. Plus the visas, so you're probably looking at £7,000.
That's expensive.
For 1 year.
Wow.
So for the QTS, I had actually watched Nanelle's video and saw that we Jamaicans were now added to the list. We could apply for our QTS back in Jamaica before coming here.
Yeah.
So that was as of February 2023 this year. So I started my application because of technicalities. I just came without it because I'm gonna get it eventually. So coming with the QTS helps. You get paid more. Who doesn't want to get paid more?
Yeah.
But coming without the QTS, they can only pay you up to the highest, which is about £31,000 per year, which is still good.
Yeah.
It's still good. But you could be getting more, especially if you're in the London area or London fringe like I am.
So with the 51,000, that's roughly how much per month?
That's roughly about 2,100 per month after taxes and NIS again.
So you are living in London. How much is your rent?
$695
for a shed.
Yes, so that's shared, but it's pretty lovely.
So would you advise people to come through this route? Is it even worth it?
It is very worth it, but I would say come with a goal in mind. If you have a goal, especially money-wise, and you're able to save towards that goal at a rate that you think you couldn't back in your country, it's worth it. If not, it's probably just the scenery that is going to be worth it. But so far, for me, it's been worth it. It's been lovely.
would you advise people to come to London?
I would say come to London. I am gonna go to
She's just saying that to make me feel feel better.
Honestly guys, when I said 695, I could have seen Nanelle's reaction. Like, that's a lot. So for
that's more than my
695,
mortgage, you know that.
My God.
Yes, and that's me in a house, and this is you in a shared accommodation.
Exactly.
Anyway, I don't get all this, so.
Exactly, that too. But I can live without all this. I can take a train and come and experience this. But I would say other places, especially if it's more remote. I've gone to Devon recently. It's very similar to Northern Ireland. The scenery is good. It's cheaper, not as cheap as Northern Ireland though. So those areas, you get paid less, of course, but it's still kind of worth it.
Okay. And would you advise people to get a QTS prior to coming?
I would say if you already made up your mind to come just the same, because your school can help you to go through the QTS route, but not all of them will. Let me tell you that. They'll put you through the newly qualified teachers 2-year induction program, but not all of them will give you the QTS. So you might have to pay. So consider that and see if it's worth it. But if you can get it from your home country, why not? You're not paying for it.
It takes a while. So you're not paying for it, and it's only some particular countries that are eligible. So I'll leave those countries on the screen, but I have a video that I filmed about it. So I'll leave a link to the video as well, so that you can know the process and where to apply and all that. So if you're not sure what QTS means, is qualified teacher status.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And it makes getting a job as a teacher much easier.
Much easier. It makes them. It basically just tells them that you're definitely a teacher. You were recognized in your home country, so we're going to recognize you as a teacher. So it's basically like your license.
Like a license, like a nurse, like a pen. Okay, makes sense. She has just recently gone through the process, and she is a teacher, so she'll be able to explain it much better than I can do. And because she's obviously gone through it, she has first-hand experience. So if I forgot to ask her any questions, she can pop it into her DM, and I'm sure she'll help you understand it better. Okay, so you can also achieve your dreams like she has.
Yes.
And
guys, I just recently started YouTube just 2 days ago. 2 days
ago.
So I need some subscribers, guys. I need to have it worth it. So I'm on YouTube as the Melanin Queen JA to the UK because I think it's fitting. And then and then on Instagram, I'll leave it on the screen because I honestly don't use Instagram that much. So
your final words?
I would say, guys, it's worth it. So get registered with an agency. Make sure that you're showing personality in those interviews, guys. Make sure you're not getting scammed. Double check with someone. If you're not sure, it's probably a sign. And then, guys, get the money ready and just make sure that you're absolutely sure. Make the best decision if cost-wise, and then coming here, if you have a dependent or a spouse, make sure you definitely think about that. But I would personally say, come without any dependent or spouse
in the beginning.
Lay the pathway for them. And then get them in a couple of months.
It's easier. That's what I always advise.
Look at those things and come. Like, the UK is huge. It can accommodate all of us. So come to the UK, come as a teacher. It's worth it. I'm almost 100% sure it's more worth it than back in your home country, because otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video.
That's a good one. I'm sure you all can tell she's such a good teacher. And she makes her class interesting. I wish you all the best in your journey. Hopefully next time I come to London, we'll link up. Not definitely. Here. Maybe I'll take you to a high-end restaurant and I'll spoil you. You know, it'll happen, okay?
By then, we're making lots.
So thank you so much for this opportunity. Sorry for the hiccups and all that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you so much. Guys, thank you for watching as well. Subscribe to my channel. Go check out Rashida's channel as well. Shout out to my PA, Susie. Thank you guys so much. Bye.
Bye, guys.